You all give a round of applause for my fraternity brother, Dr. Eric Prince. Come on up, my brother. Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Now, normally we would go through the root causes with Dr. Rita, but I think it's just special to have the man himself to actually dig deep and tell us about some of the root causes of why we have been suffering like we've been suffering. And then we're going to talk about some solutions. So is that okay, Eric?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Hello to everyone. I'm glad to be back here. I'm always excited when I get to talk to our people and just to hear about the success that's going on. It's a dream. It's what I had always envisioned. But for a time, Pratt, I was like, John the Baptist. I was crying in the wilderness. Nobody heard me. You was one of the ones that didn't hear
I
me,
wasn't
but
trying to
that didn't hear me.
get
But that's okay because you did. You finally heard the call and you responded diligently, and that's why these people are healing. It didn't matter if you didn't hear me before, but you heard me now, and so now this is the right time. This is the right time for us to have this type of process because this process is a new branch of healthcare. But this is a new branch called holistic healthcare. This is the branch we never got. This is the branch we were never taught. This is the process that we never had in our life. So therefore, if we were only given one process, then we only had one option. So we were pigeonholed. Most of us were pigeonholed. And I just got off the phone with a person on dialysis. He's excited because he's ready to come off dialysis. He understands what he has to do, and he realizes that he has to be willing to make some sacrifices. See, I always tell people your success is in direct proportion to what you're willing to sacrifice. If you're not willing to make the sacrifices as the leaders have, Willie, he was an about meat eater, but he did what he had to do in order to make this a success. And guess what? He is enjoying the lifestyle, right?
Exactly.
He became a cook, became a vegan cook. And all that. It's life changing. So when you talk about the root cause of a condition, it goes back to the beginning. We can't leave out our adolescence experience, our toddler's experience from the time we got teeth. From the time we got teeth, we were able, hold on, let me get rid. So from the time we got teeth and we started consuming animal protein, we started consuming the flesh of other animals, beef, chicken, pork, turkey, then it was from that point where we began to create the addiction to the animal protein. So animal protein, and then let's go into milk. Because what does milk do to the body? It doesn't do the body good. And that was the marketing that we got, that milk does the body good. But milk doesn't do the body good. And we didn't know that for a long time. All through grammar school, I know all of you guys, even if you went to public school or private school, you got milk. I love the chocolate milk. We fought over the chocolate milk. So we was happy to get that milk. But it turns out that milk creates excessive mucus in the system. By the time you turn 4 years of age, you no longer have the enzyme lactase to break down lactose. So after a certain age, you're not even breaking down the lactose anymore. So it's starting to become mucus in the system, and it's causing your body to become acidic. Now, why is this important? It's important because once your body becomes acidic, you start leaching calcium from your bones. So wait, you're telling me that the milk I've been drinking all my life that was marketed to me that it would do my body good is actually causing me to lose calcium, which means at some point I'm going to develop osteoporosis from the long-term milk consumption. That's exactly what I'm telling you. The mucus in your system that you're getting from the dairy is actually causing what we call malabsorption. Malabsorption. Let me explain malabsorption. You're seeing a person who's not skinny, they're overweight. No, that means they've been eating, right? But they're malnourished. They're malnourished because the nutrients are not getting into the bloodstream because of the mucus buildup in their system. So we think that a person malnourished is someone who's looking skinny and frail. No, That's not the malnourished. The malnourished is the person who's looking, plump, juicy, obese. So we have to understand that a lot of stuff that we learn, we have to unlearn it. And then we have to relearn some new stuff because our life depends on it. And then also a lot of the processed foods, that's what's messing us up as well. The body knows whole food, because you're made of nutrients, you're made of vitamins, you're made of minerals. So what you're made of, the body recognizes. But when you start eating processed food, what we call it Frankenstein food, when you start eating that Frankenstein food, your body doesn't know what you're putting in it. It doesn't know it. If it doesn't know it, it can't process it. It can't digest it. It can't assimilate it, and it can't digest it. So that means that it can only do one thing: store. It stores these chemicals in fat tissue. That's why you get the weight gain in the butt, in the hips, the waist, the arms. That's nothing but stored waste in your body. As long as that waste keeps on building up in your body, yeah, it's keeping it out of your organ system. So I'm gonna be honest with you, being able to gain weight is a blessing, because if you couldn't gain weight, then the waste will be dumped into your organ systems much sooner than later. Now, here's the problem. It's still being dumped into our organ system because based upon the bioscan, we're seeing toxic livers, we're seeing toxic kidneys, and we're validating why these dialysis places are popping up all over the country, because we're overdosing on animal protein. That's the truth. We're overdosing, and now we can see that. We couldn't really see that before, and the doctors couldn't really tell us, and they didn't really tell us, the medical doctors. But now on this new journey, this holistic journey, we now have answers to our issues. And when you have answers, when you know the root cause, when you know what's causing the condition, you pull it up, which means you eradicate. So now we have a choice. We never had a choice. You were born into this world. What does scripture say? You were born into sin, shaped in iniquity. I didn't understand what that meant, but we were born into a system that didn't give us a choice. That would be against divine law to not give you a choice. God never took your choice away. God gave us free will. So even the creator gave us a choice. He said, I set before you this day, life and good, death and evil. But he did say, choose life, that thou and thy seed may live. And so that's what's happening. We didn't choose life because we were never given life. We were only given death.
Wow.
We've literally been programmed to die. So when we came with the bioscan, when we came with the holistic process, the curse was reversed. We reversed the curse. You see what I'm saying?
The curse. Wow.
We reversed the curse.
I love that.
All these testimonies you're hearing is people now reversing the curse in their bloodline. And yeah, they're in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, they're in their 80s. My mother told me she'll be 80 in August. She reminded me, and she didn't remind me, I didn't even notice, that no one in our family has lived past 80. That sent chills in my spine because in August, it will now signify that we have just broken the bloodline curse in my family. My mother is working out 3 to 4 times a week at the gym. She's an 80-year-old pumping up in the gym, running, swimming, all that stuff. She's experiencing her youth again. See, we thought that your youth had to do with your age, chronological age. No, that's another fiction. That's another myth. No, your youth has to do with your biology. How young is your body? Because your body is always remaking itself over and over again. Your cells are always replicating minute by minute, second by second. So within a certain amount of time, you have a brand new body, brand new organs, brand new tissue. But is that body older or is that body younger? See, even in your 80s, you can return to the days of your youth, as the book of Job told us. He says, your skin shall be fresher than a child's, and you shall return. He said, return to the days of your youth. The scripture says that. How can we return to the days of our youth if we're already in our 60s? Because he wasn't talking about chronological time. He was talking about your biology. See, youth is not predicated on chronological time. It's predicated on your genetics, on your biology, and how well your body is functioning. We need to reset our systems. I don't age anymore past 12 months. Now it's coming down to every 6 months. Pretty soon it's going to be 30 days. I'm set to run 200 meters, July 30th in Lexington, Kentucky. Yep, I'm still competing. I'm 53 years young. I plan on running 23 seconds, which I ran in college. That's because I've been training. That's why you guys haven't seen me much. I've been training because I still have to compete. Because one, it does three things. It's because I love it. I love running and I can do it. Also, it promotes age reversal detoxification, because if I'm still 53 and I'm still competing in 200 meters, 400 meters, 100, then that means that I have discovered the fountain of youth, which you all have discovered now, because the fountain is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness, then all these things will be added, right? Well, where is the kingdom? It's within you. So when you detoxify your body, what are you doing? You're cleaning your temple, because your temple is the house of the Holy Spirit. So if you don't clean your temple, the Holy Spirit can't stay there. He has to go. You clean your temple, he stays forever. You see? So that's why it's important to detoxify your body, clean your blood. The products that you have to detoxify for the 21 days are sufficient to get you back to your youth. Are they sufficient to resolve your blood sugar issues? They're sufficient to resolve your high blood pressure, your arterial sclerosis issues. You know, it's sufficient to resolve these things. I didn't say cure, resolve. You have to eradicate the condition at the mind as well as at the body. It's not just what you're eating that makes you sick. Sometimes it's what's eating at you. So we need to get rid of some of that unforgiveness, some of that resentment, all that stuff from the past. Let those things go. That's baggage. The baggage is killing you. And the person you resent or the person you don't forgive, they're going on to live their life while you are being eaten alive because you have not let it go. You let go of the toxins, the physical toxins, the mental, emotional toxins, and then you balance your spirit. And that's what this process is about. So I'm grateful that you guys are taking it and you're literally running with it, because now you can run, right? The people who couldn't run before, people who couldn't run before that was on walkers, now they're running, literally.
Love it.
So
Eric, we got about 5 more minutes, and I want to talk about disease and some of the primary causes of disease. So I'm gonna shoot out the call word for disease, and I want you to take about, if anything, 30 seconds for each point that I'm going to shoot out, and then you're going to throw it back to me, because I think these causes of disease are something that we haven't been told before, and I think that everybody used to need to hear. So number 1, lack of oxygen. Give it to me. Lack of oxygen. Why is that a cause of disease, and what's happening?
Well, lack of oxygen, what we call, the term we use in the medical world, they use hypoxia. Hypoxia means lack of oxygen. Anoxia means no oxygen, but hypoxia means a lack of oxygen. Excuse me. Every cell in your body requires oxygen to produce ATP. ATP stands for adenyl triphosphate. That's your energy units. When you have energy, you're producing ATP. So when I'm running and competing, I produce ATP. That gives me the energy and ability to run and compete and to win my races. If my cells don't have oxygen, then I can't create ATP. And what happens is you wind up developing acid or lactic acid. So you know how when you're running and you run for a long time, you start feeling that burn in your legs? That means you just used up your ATP, and now it's switching over to the lactic acid system. Your body doesn't do good with acid. In fact, it's been proven that disease cannot survive in an alkaline body, right? But it thrives in an acidic body. Why? because the more alkaline your body is, the more oxygen rich
Love
your
it.
fluid is.
And
The
there we
more
go.
acidic your body is, the more oxygen deprived your body is.
And you all just, that was excellent. You all just saw that basic physical quality report, right? That showed that there are bodies out there, and we see 98%, I would say about 98% of people who are scanned, they have acidic bodies in that basic physical quality report. So this number 2, Eric, mucus and parasites. This is pertaining mentioned as a great cause of disease. What do you have to say about our bodies and mucus and parasites?
Well, mucus is actually the cause is caused by inflammation.
Okay.
So anytime there's any type of toxins in the body, viruses in the body, bacteria in the body, it's going to trigger inflammation. That inflammation leads to mucus. Now, here's the thing: mucus is not necessarily bad, because we have mucous membrane. Your first line of defense in your immune system is they call it barrier immunity. That's your mucous membrane in your skin. So once you pierce the skin, you break the barrier, right? You break the barrier, but then you also have that mucous membrane that's also protecting. But what happens is when you have excessive mucus production in the body, then now you're causing acidity. That's where the dairy is coming from, because dairy leads to excessive mucus. It's causing more acidity, and that's starting to leach and rob you of your oxygen molecules. And then the last point I want to make is that when you're dealing with mucus, the food that you're eating, the whole purpose of eating food from the food. If you're dealing with an excessive mucus in the system, then you're dealing with the ability of malabsorption. In other words, you're not absorbing the vitamins and minerals from the food or the medicine or the supplements that's supposed to be getting into your bloodstream to nourish your cells and to keep them functioning.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Therefore, and if we're eating meat, of course, parasites are present.
And the parasites are robbing you. You're feeding the parasites, basically, because they're robbing you of your vitamins and minerals as well.
All right.
In fact, some people have seen parasites come out when they go through the cleanse. That's if you're brave enough to look back.
Right.
I don't want to look back. I didn't want to look back.
I have looked back. I'm gonna be honest. I looked back today. I actually was proud of myself based off of what I saw. So not giving too much detail, but y'all see the little globly thing on the left. That's a hint. But anyway, number 3, toxicity in a process of detoxing. So toxicity, disease, sound like they go hand in hand, right? We're looking at the liver, the organs, the gut, the lung, the skin, the kidneys, all the organs. So Eric, expound for about 30, as quick as you can, but detail about toxicity and the process of detoxification.
Well, with toxicity has to do with poisons, viruses, germs that are in the body, but not being properly eliminated. See, what happens is that the best analogy I can use is that, my garbage man comes around every Tuesday. Imagine if the garbage man doesn't come around for about 3 or 4 weeks. Now you're putting the garbage out on the sidewalk, but now it's piling up, kind of like in New York. I'm sorry about that, New Yorkers. But I went to New York and there's like garbage all on the street. I'm like, whoa, this sounds like my analogy. And so at some point, you don't put the garbage out because, at least in Chicago, they're going to have an issue with an ordinance. So, hey, don't keep putting the garbage out, leave it in your house till the garbage man comes. If every cell in your body holds on to its garbage, because remember, in order to produce ATP, the byproduct is waste. So every cell in your body is having a bowel movement. Every cell in your body is having a bowel movement. Your cell is a mini you. You have organs. Your cell has organelles. Your cell has a respiratory system, a digestive system, an elimination system. You have a same thing. So if your cells can't move the waste out, then it starts to cause the cell to malfunction. And it's like having a coat on you that's holding you down from being vital. And so that prevents the cells from being active. That's why the bioscan picks up. It picks up the low vitality in the cells of your body. That's how we know what's going on in your body at the cellular level. Because if the waste is in the cells and it's not being moved out because you're constipated, because your plumbing is clogged up, then all of the toxins is backing up into the liver, which leads to hepatitis, backing up into the pancreas, which leads to pancreatitis, which leads to diabetes, backs up into the kidneys, which leads to kidney failure or gout, backs up into the heart, leads to arteriosclerosis. So if you're not moving your bowels, if you're not clearing your plumbing, then all that waste is backing up into your organs. And that's the one cause of all diseases, cellular malfunction.
Wow. And you guys are looking at a photo with toxicity, and you see the middle, the organ, the liver, that primary detoxification organ is sick, right? And therefore, the rest of the body is sick. And we show the reports. When you get that bioscan, you're able to see the functionality of your liver, the functionality of your kidney, right? We're looking at so many different things that are shown in that report, and you can do something about them. Now there's deficiencies. So you see on this slide, particularly vitamin D deficiency, muscle weakness, constant respiratory problems, sweaty head in children, hypertension, kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, bone pain, infertility, and paralysis. You just heard Dr. Prince speak on some of these things that are natural deficiencies when we're not getting in nutrition. And then you heard us speak early, and you heard Melissa, and you just heard Dr. Prince speak on an acidic body. So, Dr. Prince, when you look at, all of this going on, you touched on acid versus alkaline. I want to talk about the products. Let's get into that. Let's get deep. You made a statement that says you can not consciously resolve health issues on the same mental level that you unconsciously use to create them. Expound on that for a minute. Just talk about that for a second. You muted. You got to unmute. If someone can ask him to unmute, this is getting real good.
Hold on. All right, I got you.
There you go. You're good.
Okay.
So you said you cannot consciously resolve your health issues on the same mental level that you unconsciously use to create them. Give me an analogy. Give me whatever quick where you could get this in their head, get this in our head. What's the mindset?
Well, here's the thing. We have one mind, but we have two aspects of one mind. We have our conscious mind, but then we have our subconscious mind. Your conscious mind processes about 40 bits of information per second. Your subconscious mind processes 40 million bits of information per second. So you got two different processes. It's obvious that your subconscious mind is more powerful. And that's where a lot of our habits were created. And that's where they were solidified in our subconscious mind. But we unconsciously created them. And so they live in our subconscious. So you can't go up against a 40 million bit processor with a 40-bit processor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't consciously correct an issue on the level that you unconsciously created it.
Makes sense.
So you have to go down and mentally and emotionally detoxify and uproot the toxins. Then now you will start to see change in your body and in your state of health.
Wow. So it's mindset. Hey, I'm proof in the pudding, you all. This is not me picking on anyone, but I've been knowing Eric for 30 years, over 30 years. And mindset, I wasn't trying to hear him and nothing he was talking about. Not at no barbecue, not at no picnic, not at no fraternity event. He came up and everybody was like, man, get on out of here. But it was a mindset. And even now, while I'm on my third detoxification, my third reset, at the end of it, actually, the subconscious mind, right, will trigger and say, don't you miss this. The other day was fried French fries, right? Or don't you miss The smell of lamb,
Mhm.
right? Chicken, whatever.
Right, right,
That's that.
right.
But I consciously had to program myself and make acknowledgement of what was happening, and then make the decision consciously to not fall back.
Right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
let's.
So you do have access to your subconscious mind, but if it runs its course, then it's on autopilot. So we
Right.
got to go into our subconscious and make some changes.
Yeah. So check this out. The right products, right? We got the regenerator, the purifier, the eliminator. Let's talk about the product that eliminates this mucus and parasites. What's going on with the product?
So what I've, and these are products that I've been using for over a decade. So I know they work because one, with the mucus parasite buster, the parasite mucus buster, either or, I knew that unless we clear the mucus out, unless we kill the parasites, then the next product is not going to be as effective.
Okay.
Which is the superfood.
Got you. So let's
See,
go
we
to
want
the superfood. Okay.
So
we got the.
So we need to. So the superfood is the.
Here we go.
Is the. Got it?
Yep.
You got it on there?
Yep.
So
you call it the regenerator.
Right. We call it the regenerator, also known as longevity nutrition. And I called it longevity because it helps give you longevity. But it also contains everything you need in order to renew the body and nourish the body. Nourish and renew. Mm-hmm. You got the vitamins and minerals in it, but you also have the fiber, and you also have the probiotics. See, that is important, because what we didn't know is that meat, animal flesh, doesn't have dietary fiber. Okay. If it doesn't have dietary fiber, then it's going to have a problem getting through the system, and that's what gets the system clogged up. You need fiber in your food in order to help to form the stool and move it through your gastrointestinal tract. But animal protein doesn't have the fiber. So when you put the fiber back in the superfood, you put the nutrition back in the superfood, and then you also put the probiotics back in there. What is the probiotics? That's your good bacteria. Remember, with the next product, which is the detox tea, the liquid colonic, is actually cleaning and clearing out your gastrointestinal tract. I call it your sewer system. As it's cleaning out the sewer system, it's also getting rid of the bad bacteria, but it's also getting rid of some of the good bacteria. Mm-hmm. So we're fleshing everything out. We got a clean house, because what's happening is that your good bacteria, whenever it was good, was recruited by the bad bacteria. So now you have more bad and harmful bacteria in your gut than you have good bacteria. Okay. So as we're clearing out the bad bacteria and the good, we're clearing the house so we can repopulate your gut. Why are we repopulating your gut? Because that's how you reset your immune system. Mm-hmm. See, we don't have to take vaccines. All we have to do is reset our immune system. Once you reset your immune system will function as it was designed to function by God when God created it perfect. Mm-hmm. God created your immune system perfect, created you perfect. That don't mean we think perfectly. That's probably the only thing that's imperfect, how we think. But as far as our bodies, our immune system, our digestive system, it's perfect. So there are no errors. God didn't make an error. We just have to become good stewards over our body, over our systems, and we have to learn how to reset it, get it back to its default. When a computer gets to a point where it's overloaded, what happens? It crashes. That's what's happening in our country, in our Black neighborhoods. We're crashing, just like that computer. So if we don't get back to our default, then we're not going to be able to live long lives.
Wow. Now, you know what? It's something that I've experienced, like not just with my colon, but also with the kidney and the liver. There's been some level of cleanse there, right? Some level of reset, right? So which particular product is addressing that liver and kidney, that cleanse?
Well, actually, you know what happens during the cleanse? During the cleanse, when you clear out your whole gastrointestinal tract, stomach, mucus, parasite, blockage in the small intestines, blockage in the large intestines. Once you clear all of that out, your body sends a signal to your kidneys, and it sends a signal to your liver to release the rest of their waste.
Okay. All
You
right.
see? So now you know. So now you know why these three got to go together.
I
Because
got
if you
you.
don't, the prerequisite, and we understand prerequisite from college. We know that unless we clear out the gastrointestinal tract, there's no healing that's going to take place in the body. I don't care what you do or what medicine. You cannot heal the body unless you clear the digestive tract. You cannot heal the body unless you clear out the mucus. You cannot heal the body unless you flood the body with nutrition.
Okay.
These are the main healing points for every human being on the planet.
Now that mucus, man, is no joke during this cleanse because even it starts coming out. It starts coming
Mhm.
out like in the
Yeah,
form
it
of
does.
Hertzheimer's, right? We talked about Hertzheimer's. So when you look at
Mhm,
this
mhm.
phase 3 and you go through 21 days, a lot of people do experience Hertzheimer's where the mucus, it may seem like a common cold, it may seem like a flu. So what's actually happened now with the combination of these three products and the juicing where it creates that Hertzheimer's effect?
Well, the Hertzheimer, of course, we call it the toxic waste elimination confrontation.
Mm,
Toxic waste elimination confrontation.
okay.
See, the rest of the world is avoiding this confrontation,
Okay.
but it's coming. It's going to come. Either you're going to welcome it voluntarily with this process, or it's going to come involuntarily. There's
Okay.
no human being on the planet that can get away from this. All these years we're building up baggage, and we're applying more pressure to the system, and we're overloading it. Nobody is getting away. That's why disease ensues, because all the years of eating bad and building up the toxicity in the body and flooding it into the organ systems and depleting your vitamins and minerals, at
Mhm.
some point the body has to give back what you gave it, which is a bad deal. When it gives it back to you, that's what we call becoming sick, becoming ill. That's
Mhm.
when your body starts to naturally detoxify itself. Disease is your body's natural cleansing process.
Love it.
So your body is going to cleanse one way or another,
Gotcha.
voluntarily or
Or
involuntarily.
involuntary.
Choose
Okay.
voluntarily.
All right. All right. You guys heard it. So that's powerful. Now there are options. So Eric, through you, we were able to see the value of definitely having a 21-day raw, right? That we call that
Mhm.
phase 3. And then we have, of course, a 7-day option for people who might not be ready to dive in or maybe job or whatever, traveling, whatever prevents them to doing the 21 days. So let me ask this. Phase 1, phase 2, you have 21 days, 7 day. How would you weigh in and for the perspective that people should look at this process? Phase 3, phase 2, 21-day, 7-day. How would you weigh in on that?
Well, most everyone needs to do 3 weeks, especially if you've been eating meat most of your life, which a
Okay.
lot of us have. Even if you just changed your diet 2 to 3 years ago, you still created damage. So the scan will show you the residuals of the damage already done.
Okay.
And now that we understand the damage, we definitely want to do the 3 week, but sometimes it's tough. It is tough. And I'm gonna tell you, I worked with a gentleman. He was so toxic,
Mm,
it was almost close to impossible to get him. It was tough because he had been doing cocaine. He had been doing a lot of, he abused his body with a lot of substances.
okay.
When you do that, that means your body is really toxic on its deepest level. In fact, the doctor had given him 2 years to live.
Mm,
But once he started detoxing, he was so toxic from his past lifestyle
mm,
that the Hertzheimer detox reactions were severe, and it almost didn't allow him to get through it. And
wow.
so sometimes a person may need that 7 days if they're so
Okay.
toxic that they just need to get through something just to start building up to that three
Gotcha.
weeks. But
Gotcha.
if a person is really dealing with a severe issue, 7 days may not be enough. You might have to just jump in at 3 and rough it out. That's why you have coaches. Our goal is to coach you through it so that you can lean on us. Our yoke is light.
Love it.
So when you lean on a coach, that coach is going to help you to override your subconscious program. That's what the coach is for, to override your subconscious program, because you can't get past that. Like you said, you are who you are on the deepest level. So you have to connect with the coach. The coach pulls you across, and now you're able to make it through that. So everyone's going to go through some affliction. Don't try to avoid affliction. Just lean into it. Lean into it and just allow the suffering to take place, because long suffering is one of the qualities and characteristics of the spirit of peace in the Bible. So we got to go through it, unfortunately. There's no easy way around it.
That dominion over flesh. Go ahead.
Acts 14:22 tells us that only through much tribulation can you enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Wow.
There is no easy way around this. So stop trying to avoid pain. Stop trying to avoid affliction. Accept the voluntary process so that you won't have to go through the involuntary process. Because let me tell you, everyone who wants to live has to come through this process. And I'm not saying that with pride or anything. I'm saying that this is what I discovered, that, wow, this is the process on the road to life. Because enter ye in at the straight gate, for broad is the road that leads to destruction, but narrow is the path that leads to life. And it says that there are very few people that find that path. This is not an easy path, but once you find it, you are on the path to life. So whether you take the 7-day or the 21-day, never take this process out of your life. Pass it on to your mothers and your sisters and your brothers if you love them. If you love yourself, detox anywhere from 2 to 3 times a year and for the rest of your life. And I guarantee you, you'll be like me, out competing with college kids that are 30 years younger than myself.
I love it. You all give a round of applause for Dr. Eric Parents. Drop it in the chat. You all, let me tell you, phase 3 and phase 2 are no joke, right? As you hear how passionate he's speaking about it, the conviction that he speaks about, what it is that he, created, what it is that he established, and what it is that he shared. So now you have some choices, right? So drop it in the chat. Just show your love. Show him how much we do appreciate him. Show him how much we appreciate God, him sending him our way. And some of you, and this is just how it is, we know that there are some people who may not be ready to jump into phase 2 or phase 3. We know that. We know that it's still important to start somewhere. And sometimes the focus may be weight loss, because a lot of times we're even mentally compromised because we don't feel that we can look ourselves in the mirror, right? And just see ourselves losing weight. So we still have another phase, which is phase 1. And those are for people who are plant-based focused. Like you have your focus, right? To be plant-based focused, eating according to your blood type, that's your focus. But maybe you're just not ready. And we understand that. So we do offer products like our flat belly coffee, flat belly billers, flat belly. And notice we're saying flat belly in these products, because we're letting you know, yeah, you're going to lose a little weight. Now is not going to address the waste that Dr. Eric just talked about. Now, this is me saying it, and I'm affirming it, right? It's me saying it. Just from my experience and from the experiences and the testimonies that we've received, it's a great method to start, because you're going to feel confident. You're going to feel happy if you start with phase 1, right? And work your way up. But if you have those issues going on that we have just covered, get to the phase 2 and the phase 3, right? So we have resources. Yes. I love that Eric laid the platform for coaching. The resources, like he made sure that we understood how important that having help is. And we know that God always sends help. And then, like he said, he talked about the subconscious mind, about the conscious mind. We know that even myself, we need help, right? It's hard to do this thing alone. So we have a website and additional tools. We have ebooks for you. Please scan the barcode, get with the person who invited you, go to our website, join a community, everything there from recipes, emotional support, everything that you need is there. So let me formally be transparent, right? So you don't think that this skinny dude or these fraternity boys are just making this stuff up. No, I'm gonna show you some proof in the pudding. So you all, like, you see me, I was pregnant. Now he said, what you mean? You're a man. What you doing pregnant? Well, let me tell you, I was pregnant and I hid it from my mama, my wife, and everybody else very well. But Eric came around and I just couldn't hide it anymore. Now, this is somebody that I've been knowing for 30 years. And of course, he was like, Mooney, you just don't look the same. Now, we almost started fighting, but it was the truth. So my journey, you all, is giving birth to 2 babies. That's been my journey. And let me tell you, although my bioscan shared from the very beginning, I needed to work out, right? And let me be transparent. I don't like working out. I have to be motivated. I have to have a partner. I don't like working out. So it surprised me that just by doing phase 3, that I was able to get these results. I mean, y'all see a belly hanging over, his waistline is not good. But this slowly is, well, actually not even slowly, but it decreased during the first 2 cleanses where I actually can start seeing muscle definition without working out. And now I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. So I gave my hashtag is gave birth to 2 babies. There's somebody out there that may be like myself. Look at our chief sales officer, Phyllis Nash. She dropped 17 pounds and reduced her cholesterol by, she looks amazing, right? This isn't the same Phyllis that I've met. Now, she's the lioness, she's a Leo, and let me tell you, she's showing out. I have to tell her sometimes, Phyllis, now you know you ain't supposed to be showing with that shirt with your back all that. No, I'm just playing. But she's doing phenomenally well. And it's not a respect of person. From Mary, Crystal, Tyreek. I know Tyreek. Now, this is our CEO's son, but man, awesome man of God. He has a testimony. He lost 25 pounds of waist on his first cleanse. Mary lost 21 pounds, 14% body fat. And then Crystal, oh my God, y'all see that picture? I mean, she removed all her belly fat in 21 days. Now, I know we're pointing out, see, I know this sometimes can look like a weight loss program. No. We're still talking about waste, but the natural byproduct is that it's going to reflect in your weight. It's going to reflect in your waistline. It's going to reflect in your face, in your skin, in every organ in your body, and it's going to reflect in your color. You may really appreciate your new color. So with that being said, you're seeing testimonies after testimonies. And in a short period of time, I'm just showing pictures, letting you know, husband and wives, this is the wife to this husband right here. Like, families are really, I praise God for Dr. Eric, because our family and many families are really, really benefiting from this lifestyle. So I say, select your phase, right? Pick life, choose life, right? Eat life, right? Stop eating dead, right? Have a plant-based focus if that's where you need to start. Go plant-based and don't forget to learn about and understand eating according to your blood type and dive at it. Go raw, 21 days raw, 7 days raw. I know this. I know you fasted. I've done a 40-day fast. I've done all different types of things. I've had a colonic. I've done a lot of different things, but never have I been put in this position, right? Where I've been put in a place where I've been educated and given the exact steps, as well as a coach that told me, hey, no work. You don't have to work out that hard during this process, and watch what God do. Watch what happens with you. Watch your mindset. And then pay attention to what you will not go back to. So let's get started. Step 1, select your phase and start imagining how great you will look and feel in the next 21 days. Step 2, get with the person who invited you and just make the purchase. Invest in yourself. Like, it doesn't feel good, and I could have showed a whole lot of pictures. It doesn't feel good where it's hot outside, you're wearing 2 and 3 shorts to hide your gut, or you're going to church, you're wearing a girdle. Oh, we know, we just don't say nothing. It's the elephant in the room. Or you go to the pool side like myself and you just don't take off your shirt. You're wearing a t-shirt or whatever while you're at the pool and your whole t-shirt getting wet and you just ain't you're just trying to hide something. You don't have to do that anymore. Step 3, connect with your wellness coach, right? Be in the flatbellylifestyle.com page, get with the person. You can find out who is there for you. We're all there for you, but you can be very particular and very specific on, hey, getting this help. Make sure you register for the pledge, download the free ebook so you know how to eat according to your blood type. And I'm going to ask my brother to make a couple other words, final words, just so we make sure we've heard from the man of God and that he has branded your minds with the message that we're trying to share. So, Eric, final words?
Well, I just want to tell people to, be patient with this process. Don't give up on this, because giving up on this, you're giving up on God. We made God's medicine not the rule. And we made man's medicine the rule, which is the exception. This process is putting everything back in order. Psalms 82 told us the whole earth is out of course. So we are called to put it back in course, to put it back in order. We need to put God's medicine as the rule and man's medicine as the exception. And that's going to be, that's a long journey, but we're doing it. We're actually doing it now, and you are part of that kingdom. And so I want to thank everyone and just say, hey, may the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his light to shine upon you, be gracious to you, show you favor, grant your everlasting peace and success through the cleansing and detoxification process all the days of your life.
Wow. Let me tell you, man, the chat has blown up, right? I mean, from everybody saying that now they go look back at their stool to pay attention. And I hear somebody asking, can you do 10 days? Yes, you can. You can buy the 21 day, I would acknowledge you to just, hey, start with 7. You're putting it at 10. Start with 7, see what the outcome is. Naturally, you're gonna see, oh, I need to probably go a little further. I haven't seen anybody to just stop. Right. Eric, everybody is saying thank you. I see a lot of cheers. They saying that they appreciate you. Great presentation. Everybody's appreciating you. Man, I'm like, this chat has blown up. Great presentation. Thank you, Dr. Prince.
Miss you too.
Man, let me tell you, they miss you. God, I miss you, brother. They saying they finna dive in. You have LM saying she about to call the person. She didn't put her phone number like she ready. So LM, that's Bernadine who said, I got you, right? So you all, hey, that's what we have for you tonight. I appreciate everybody from getting on. I appreciate you for hanging out with us a little bit longer, right? We're not going to hold you any longer. Get back with the person who invited you and ask them. I think Dr. Eric has covered a lot. Now, I know, you might still have questions. Let me tell you, we have a platform to get those questions answered. If it gets too deep, we can always get Dr. Prince, get you in contact with him if it gets too deep for your coach, right? But get back with the person that invited you and meet us here again next Sunday, as well as get on the line. Get in the group, Flat Belly Lifestyle. Get in the group, Wakanda for Life. Get in our corporate pages and win this stuff for free. Who does that? Get in there. Ask your questions, win for free, participate, share. See, each one should be helping one. This is a mandated submission, and we thank God. I see Gigi, she popped up, Fontaine. We're all in this together. The more that you share, the more people that we help, right? So with that being said, Eric, they still blowing it up. They said they will see you.
God bless you all.
Next week.
And like you said, Mooney, there's no situation out there that we can't handle. There's no disease that's incurable. If it's incurable, it's incurable from within, as they say. So every coach out there knows that I'm the coach over them to help them with any person that they're dealing with. So
Man.
whatever situation you have, bring me in and we'll get it done. If it's dialysis, we're gonna work to get you off. If it's heart disease, we're gonna work to clean out your arteries. If it's diabetes, we're gonna work to heal your pancreas. We can do this because we have been doing it. This isn't theory. This is actuality. So if you love your family, if you anyone you love, bring them on the call next Sunday, because let me tell you something. My love, the highest expression of love is self-sacrifice. And when I decided to step out there, I put my life on the line because I love my people.
I love
so
that.
If you love your people, get them on that call so that they can heal, because they deserve it. It's their birthright.
So love conquers fear. So we have no excuse for what we have to offer and what we have to share. And we let love supersede everything to get past that fear and share with everybody that you love. So with that being said, peace out, you all. Love you all. Peace out.
God bless you.
God bless everyone.